Tracking your net worth is the single best thing that you can do for your finances. Hey everyone, Tactical Timmy here. I wanted to talk about tracking your net worth, what that actually means, especially for gold and silver investors where we're not only thinking about our net worth, but also growing our stacks and making sure that we are becoming the best gold and silver stackers that we can. So what does it actually mean to track your net worth? Well, first of all, I am a huge fan of actually having a physical ledger. I talked about the advantages of doing things physically in a recent video of mine, and I want to continue that topic when we comes to tracking our net worth, because when it comes to tracking our net worth, we need to go out and we need to have a physical notebook where we are actually writing down the different assets and different liabilities that we have. So what does that actually look like for us? Well, what is an asset? An asset is something that we can actually go out and we can actually sell. So that could be our gold and silver, that could be the cash on hand, that could be even things like stocks that we might earn or part of our retirement accounts and other things like that. Those are some different examples of assets. We could also have bonds or real estate that's making us money. All of those things are assets that we have to our name. Think about all of the different things that if you needed to come up with a lot of funds tomorrow, the things that you could go out and sell and actually make money on. Now, on the converse side, we need to also take into account our different liabilities. So what are liabilities? Well, liabilities are all the things where we actually owe money. Maybe a liability could be as simple as owing my brother $100, and I had to borrow the money because I didn't know about an expense that had come up and I needed to borrow that money for a given time. That would be an example of a liability because that's not actual funds that you have, and if you did have funds sitting on the side, you would actually need to take away the funds that you owe someone else. So that is what a liability is. Now, when it comes to tracking your net worth, you need to list all of your assets, then list and subtract away all of your liabilities, and you will end up with that number of what we were referring to as net worth. The reason we really think that this is such an important thing to track is because we should see our net worth rising over time as we continue to work really hard, not just to earn our gold and silver, but also to improve our retirement accounts and actually save money in the end, because all of these things should add to a rising net worth over time. And that's something that when we see this rising net worth over time, we should be encouraged to continue investing and continue working really hard to earn these not only physical assets, but earn our assets and improve our assets and actually decrease our liabilities, because that's the other thing that we can do to improve our net worth is actually reduce our liabilities and get out of debt, because debt is going to be the main liability that we're going to have. If you are out there having a car payment and you owe money on a car, that takes away from the value of your net worth, because in the end, you will owe the amount that is left on your car. That's not something that you actually have the title of it yet. The bank is still going to own the title of that car. The same thing, unfortunately, goes for your home. You actually do not own your home until you have paid it off. The bank actually holds the deed to your house. And that's something that a lot of us kind of forget about when it comes to our liabilities side. And we have to keep that in mind, that not everything is owned free and clear like when we own this silver. Most things that we own in our life, when it comes to big things like cars and homes, we don't actually own them until we've bought them outright. And for a lot of things like homes, that's going to take us years and years. That could take us 30 years of work to actually go out and be able to own our own home. And that's something that we struggle with, and why we need to track our net worth for other things before we get to the point of home ownership. Because growing your net worth is something that's really, really important, and that you will see will actually really encourage you. As you see your net worth rise, it will be really encouraging to you, and it's going to make you want to go out and be able to make those gold and silver purchases and be able to actually afford more of those. And growing your stack will also help you grow your net worth, and growing your investments will help you grow your net worth. And the goal is even when you have those big expenses, hopefully you'll see rises in different asset prices, whether it's gold or silver, or maybe your stock portfolio, and you'll see that those rises in asset prices, even when you have an off month and you're not able to save any money, once you get to a high enough net worth, you'll actually see that the actual investment returns are actually making up for when you have a bad month and you aren't actually able to save anything. So tracking your net worth can help you tremendously on your investment journey. When you start off tracking your net worth, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I talked about, it can be a simple notebook. I heard a person, I believe it was either Jim Rohn or it might have been Warren Buffett, in a video one time, and that's actually where I got the idea for tracking my net worth physically, and I actually have a ledger is what they called it, and that ledger goes back all the way to my high school years, and that's something that I really do treasure and value, because over time your finances will actually tell the story of your life. You will see that as your finances rise, it's a time in your life where you were working really hard and you were seeing investment returns, and when you see that net worth fall a little bit, typically it's going to be because you had to make larger purchases. Maybe you decided to go to school, maybe you had to purchase a car, maybe you moved and bought a new home or had to move cross country, or even your net worth when you're starting off could be affected as much as taking a large trip. I know I took a large trip once I graduated from college to Costa Rica, and in that trip I did see my net worth slightly decrease because it was a couple $1,000 trip to go down there, and I see that little tiny blip where my net worth had been rising, and then all of a sudden it dipped down and then continued rising again once I returned. And you'll see that those little tiny blips in your net worth aren't actually that important. And the main thing is that you're seeing that net worth gradually rising over time, and you'll see that that is really encouraging, and it means that you can actually go out and do the things in life that you want to do. As long as you're taking care of your investments and you're making sure that you're investing in your stocks, you've got your gold and silver savings set aside, and you're making sure that you're constantly investing on a monthly basis and dollar cost averaging into your different portfolios, whether it's gold or silver or whatever your stock market portfolio, and going out and actually making these investments monthly will give you peace of mind to actually take the risks, start the businesses, go on trips, and do the things in life that are really important. Because life isn't all about stacking up these gold and silver coins, as beautiful as they are, and life isn't about tracking your finances. Life is about getting out and spending time with those that you love around you. And in order to do those things, you're going to need to have the financial means to actually go out and do those things. So I highly encourage each and every one of you to go out and start yourself a ledger, even if it's not like me where you've been tracking it since high school. You should go out and start it now, because I wish that I had actually started tracking well before high school. I wish that I had started tracking my net worth from the first dollar I earned, because I think that that would have continued to tell that story further back than high school. And it's something that you will find a lot of value in, looking back over the course of your life and having the finances tell the story of what's been going on in your life over the years. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and comment down below. I really do enjoy hearing from each and every one of you, and I hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more gold and silver related content.